So my involvement started in 1999 when I commenced my work as a development worker at Deeplish Community Centre. That was a time when the community unity and the cohesion was in question. So my task was to bring peoples and projects together to make the unity amongst the community. Deeplish Community Centre has engaged people and communities, and of course has inspired many generations, young people, preschools, playgroups, elderly, and upskilling people with employment, with the jobs, and of course with the regeneration of the area.
When I used to go to school, this place here was a Victorian house. It was an old house. It belonged to NHS, and they used to run it as a baby clinic, and then it got demolished, and then we, as a Deeplish community, was formed on this premises. There used to be a hut, a green hut. That's where we started from. And from there, obviously, the council or the community around this area, we thought we could do with the community centre. So this was an ideal place. So we demolished that and then built a new community centre here.
Where we have Deeplish Community Centre, I remember that we used to have Deeplish Clinic. And I used to bring my children, and we used to come to clinic and health assessments and all that. And when we had the community centre, it was far better that we had clinic as well, and we had the benefit of the community centre where we can organise activities.
Earliest memories I can recall is the old Deeplish Clinic that was situated here. We used to play all sorts here, football, cricket, marbles, believe it or not. And probably one of the best things I ever did was, at the age of 18, along with a couple of friends, we held our first ever football competition using Deeplish School Field. We started it off as mainly get the youngsters together, and they came from all sorts of communities, and we got them to play against each other in a friendly environment and at the same time raise money for charity. And everyone felt part of this great thing.
Children and young people are very close to our heart. So we run preschools, playgroups, youth groups, youth forums, and of course the adult education. From 2000 we started working on developing my vision to make sure that we have a dedicated preschool and children's centre built in this area. We are so proud today to stand in Deeplish to say our community, our governors and our leaders locally and of course in the neighbourhood has achieved the success of building a Deeplish primary school.
Well, when I started, this didn't exist. So we got a group of residents together to try and get some facilities. And we were told at first, well, you've got to demonstrate that there's a need. So we started two things. We managed to get some funding for a play scheme, and we started a luncheon club for the older people. I got to know the chair of the Health Authority, Pamela Horton, and I persuaded Pam that it would be in the Health Authority's interest and Deeplish's to get a submission for new money through the urban programme, and that's what we did. And we've been very lucky, I think, over the years to have somebody like Sahel who's actually carried out all the work, particularly in the last few years when funding has been so difficult. He's been the person who's actually got his head together, and when the council's reduced the funding, lots of other centres in Rochdale have fallen by the wayside, but not Deeplish, because of his hard work. And what you see now is a very thriving centre that is at the centre of the community. 35 years on, the play scheme is still as popular as ever. There'll be 60 or 80 young people here over the 5 weeks of the summer holidays, 4 days a week, and they'll be having a fantastic time.
No any place to play there outside for children on the street. It's dangerous for children. That's why they come over here. Good place, good atmosphere, everything. They enjoy the hair, everything what they want to do.
We need people to work, have better jobs, better housing, be happy, healthy and active citizens of this town. And of course the depression was around Deeplish, poverty, lack of housing, overcrowding. So yeah, there were many challenges and barriers we faced over years, and we challenged and we provided solutions to local issues.
Around Deeplish, deprivation sees a digital divide widen. Laptops and Wi-Fi, essentials for most of us, are an expensive luxury for many here. The Community Centre, a charity, and Greater Manchester Combined Authority are trying to change that.
Okay, so I want you to all open your boxes.
People living here can get online free, and some who couldn't speak English at the turn of the year have had training and are now getting tablets and SIM cards without the heavy bill. The area's councils and community leaders here hope all this will see a fall in what's being called data poverty.
We made good friends with Cartwheel Arts, Touchstone and many other organisations who they inspired our children doing art and craft, and many other organisations came on board as partners.
Today at Deeplish we've been running a workshop as part of a 6-week project. Our aim today was to collect some words in short form in the style of postcards. We imagined what would it be like if you were sending a postcard home to where you came from, or maybe to your parents, or maybe to your children and grandchildren, and tell them what it's like being here at Deeplish, the community and the community centre. And the idea was to say this is how people used to communicate at the time when this centre opened. So this centre opened 35 years ago. We didn't have texting, we didn't have those instant messages like WhatsApp, those kind of things. So if you wanted a short little message sending to someone, a postcard was the way to go. We thought a postcard was a nice way for people to be able to communicate their messages now in a kind of short form. Some will be sending some of those postcards in real life to some of their relatives abroad, etc.
I write a postcard to my daughter. Dear Sarah, I am in Deeplish story group. We learning about how this center helping to community. Here is lots of things going on. So I got lots of informations.
To Sparrow, in our primary days, we were playing and sparrow are chirping above us. Nature had given both of us the same songs regarding Rukshanda Aslam.
I write a card here to my dear Mrs. Nasser. Thank you. If you had not have helped me, I don't know where I would be. I wish you all the best, and I will never forget your kind words.
The poetry sessions were very popular. People used to come from Liverpool, from London, the poets, very famous poets, and they used to do a lot of work with us. And my brother used to do some poetry as well, may Allah bless his soul. And so many other people were not with us. These were the gem of Deeplish, and they have spent a lot of time, and they will be remembered for the contribution they made to the local community and Deeplish Community Centre.
At home in Deeplish. Deeplish is friendly. I love my friends, but only sometimes. Sometimes we are like normal friends. Deeplish is a good place. I like spicy chicken and chips and spicy noodles. Spicy ice cream, not so much. Deeplish feels like home. The playground full of tag and hide and seek. I'm cornered by a tree. I see escape, I shall flee like a mouse from a cat. Deeplish is a focal point. The best thing about school is break time and maths. I'm counting the minutes to the next break, or maybe maths. Deeplish Community Centre is green. Green as grass and leaves and other stuff. I like to dance with my brother and cousins, with music as loud as a thunderstorm. Deeplish is fun. I like rolling down the hill, but walking back up, not so much. We play on the swings with friends, the ones we love sometimes. Not too high, not too fast. Deeplish feels like home.
In 2004 and 5, we highlighted that there was a lack of connectivity and the lack of transport. There were not many buses, there were not many trains, they were fully accessible. So Community Centre developed a community transport. So it was transport for health, transport for employment, and transport for young people to visit the places of interest, the theme parks, the educational activities, the libraries, the museums, and the places of culture and heritage. we're still keen to see that there's a community transport in our town. That is a small project which is still owned and managed by our committee and by our good members of staff.
We had this idea of developing transport. It took us 2 years to hit the road. And then I became the first driver of the Rochdale Community Transport. I wanted the transport or the look to be different than others. So I had dress code as well, at the time. And ever since, I'm still managing transport now. We grew all of a sudden from nowhere, we sprung. And we were all over Manchester, around Manchester. So we're serving a lot of community. There was a big need for the transport. The big buses on Deeplish Road here, they couldn't get through, so there was no local service for here. From there, it just went on and on. So I've never looked back really.
Throughout my working with Deeplish, I found that a lot of people struggle with language barriers, with changes that occur in the borough. A lot of people struggle, so we are here for them, to help them so they can have a better quality of life.
This is a working place area, and the generation here is old people now like me, and they need some place to go and have some sort of activity and social interaction. And that is why it is very important, this centre, to provide some sort of recreation for old people who are in this area now.
This is the main life, if you work, help each other, support each other. This is the main thing, people is very happy when they come here. Some people come to me, will you please write for me my Pakistan letter I want to send over there. And I help them write the letter in Urdu, and this is a good memory, if you help each other. Good time spent, nearly 40 years. I can't believe that. This is it.
When I first started helping here, it was through some friends, and I really, really enjoyed it. They were all a lovely group of people. We used to bring a couple of ladies from the care home when they weren't able to go over and bring them in for their lunch. I also used to help in the summer when the run of play scheme for the kids. I used to help with that as well. So like I said, I really enjoyed all of it here. Lovely to see it now because the place has really, really extended since then, and it seems to be so busy.
My daughter used to come and work here with henna. A lot of people comes and they put henna on. Some do makeups, other like face painting. When young people in the holiday, they take them to Hollywood Lake for horse riding, cycling. Sometimes classes for English classes, I used to come here. Yoga classes, exercise classes. It's very good.
I've been coming to Deeplish Community Centre for a very long time. I did start with doing some play scheme work with children. We used to take them different places like cinemas, swimming, on the bus to small trips, things like that. I think it's a good thing to volunteer when you got some time on your hand. I mean, in my time, I used to work myself in a textile mill, very hard work. Comparing to doing children's play scheme was a lot easier, but people should take a part in it to give a support what they can.
Since I'm coming here, I'm very happy, feel like home, this place. Since I start coming here, I feel so better, They do so many activities. My health's better, exercise we doing and we chat each other, and so many other activities like sometimes sewing sessions, poetry, so many other things having here.
We supported our elderly. If they need any help or any advice, any issue comes to their mind, first thing they will think of Deeplish Community Centre.
These sessions have proved to be very, very beneficial for the ladies because they were not very used to art being used for well-being and mental health. I think that it was something new to the group. Certainly they look forward to Mondays, they were more active, they were more involved. So I think these sessions have done amazing for the ladies and they thoroughly enjoyed the sessions.
I used to bring my children I used to do playgroup here. I used to work here. So I used to do play scheme here. So I know this Deeplish for a long, long time ago. It's nice to come here because you socialize with people and basically it helps with the mind as well because you get out of the house as well. It's nice to come again, socialize with people. It's good.
I've been involved a lot with the Deeplish group. I do a lot of psychoeducation, a lot of mental health awareness raising and supporting the ladies that attend the group. And yeah, I really enjoy what I do. There's a huge sense of community, there's a huge sense of connection between the people and the people who run the organisations, and it's a wonderful way for us as Cartwheel Art to collaboratively work with other organisations and really see people through their journeys around mental health and well-being.
I came out of university in 2001, I think, and then 2002, 2003 I started work with the Rochdale Youth Services. And the area that I got given to look after and manage as a youth worker was Deeplish, Freehold and Milkstone area. And at that time, this centre was the only centre that I had where we could come into a building and young people were welcome to come in and get involved in youth activities and things. I remember we had a Deeplish Youth Forum and we had Deeplish Youth Group, Monday night, Tuesday night. But that was always attended by boys. None of the girls were involved. So we initiated the British Asian Girls Group through a project called Active Citizenship Project as well, I remember. Yeah. We had to do a lot of work with families involved, with the parents and the guardians, because they had to build trust, and we ended up having, 20 almost plus young girls coming in doing the Duke of Edinburgh Award. And it was amazing. I think it's fair to say, if I look back now, I think they enjoyed themselves a lot during that time, whilst they're learning, skills for life.
I got involved with Deeplish when I first started in 2006 with the British Asian Girls Group at Deeplish. So the idea around was to give the girls a voice and a safe place to express themselves, to express their concerns, to work with the community, to address community needs kind of thing. So one of the projects that we worked with at Deeplish was called Active Citizenship. The idea was to give the young girls a voice to raise their concerns and what they're feeling inside as being young British Muslim girls in Deeplish. Also teaching them and educating them about British values, linking to the Duke of Edinburgh Award. There's also to give that opportunity for the young people to go and do something that they've never done, like outdoor activities. This is the kind of community centre what gives them the opportunity to come here to do these kind of activities. Having a centre in the heart of the community has helped us to deliver what we needed to deliver to the young people. So that's the kind of thing we've done from Deeplish.
And when we set up this establishment of Deeplish Youth Forum, it attracted, more people to help out. And we saw that progress, with some of the projects that went on with the litter picking and then other football competitions with the play schemes that developed. And then parallel to that, getting involved in the school, Deeplish School. Most of my work then was concentrated around the mosque. But then when I got involved with the school, most of them parents, their children would attend the mosque as well. And we could then be a kind of a listening body to the parents who couldn't communicate with the school. And one of the best things we ever did was the recruitment of a new head teacher, who's been fantastic, Mr. Ewan McPherson, and the building of the new school. I would never have imagined that we'd get a new school.
We worked in partnership with local authority in making sure that Deeplish was the first neighbourhood where Children's Centre was established in the form of first Show Start Centre in Rochdale, serving the children and families from a dedicated building right behind the Deeplish Community Centre.
My journey started in the 90s. I used to bring my daughter to the community centre for toy library, and then that's when I started doing a course in childcare at the community centre. And then they were setting up a playgroup. I applied for that and I got the playgroup assistant role, and we set up the playgroup in 1997. Yeah, so it's been 27 years. Since then I've been part of the committee as a secretary for 2 years. I was part of the panel to interview Suhail when he got the job. So my kids have grown up in Deeplish. They've attended play schemes, Saturday clubs, youth clubs, study classes. So we've done everything. Playgroup's been a big part of my life. We set up the playgroup in the community centre, and then I think it was in early 2001 when we moved to the children's centre building Show Start. And it's been here since, and it's going as strong as ever. You know, we all work hard as a team and we've got a very good team. You know, we've all been together like 10, 15, 20 years. So every year is a different challenge and that just keeps us more interested in doing this job because it's a challenge every year.
One of the first words I learned being involved in the community centre was cohesiveness. You know, what did it actually mean? You know, building the bridges between different communities, different organisations, and especially working closely like with the police, the new ones that come on board, getting them trained up in the mosque from a religious aspect, and then all the smaller projects that are run here. And you see them and they flourish. You know, we have maybe second, third generation of youngsters who have come through who, when you see them speak, when you see them work, and you think, wow, these guys have just blown you away in terms of the work they do and the ability they have, simply because of the system they've come through at the community centre. I think having that network is very, very important for a community like us, which will only help us grow stronger and better.
Not only Pakistani English people, all the different community, we all get together and play, talking each other. They talk with their own country about what are we doing there, what we spend time, really know each other. This is it.
With the Deeplish, there are so many memories, and it's good to when we say that we have at least done something. I want to make some contribution to the local communities, local community organizations, and to make sure that we leave a legacy behind.
It's a long time these people in the working. Now with the chairman, the 25 years, good friend, and Jahir, Sahel, Latif, caretaker, everything is all right.
We had a very good time, and I think I really enjoyed it, being part of the centre when I was able to. Now I'm not able to, I'm too old to do anything. Therefore, my blessings and my prayers are with the centre.
I like the way that they set out and they seem to be such a good community. They're sticking together. And that's what life's all about, regardless of who you are or where you come from.
Really, it means everything. It's our home, and we have to look after our community centre.
My message to our young people here is to get involved in the Duke of Edinburgh Award, the activities that are planned and programmed here at the Deeplish Community Centre. Without getting involved, your voice isn't heard. So please come inside and get involved in the activities.
Our hope is that we continue making a change, we continue inspiring young people, employment, education, and ensuring that we serve the people who are in need.